Ever feel like you're running a marathon but not moving an inch? Exhausted, wired, and maybe gaining a little extra fluff around the middle? There's a tiny, powerful molecule that might be pulling the strings behind the scenes. It's not your fault, and today, we're going to uncover exactly what it is and what it does to your body. So, what is this mystery molecule? It's called cortisol, often nicknamed the stress hormone. But calling it just that is like calling the sun just a big light. It's so much more complex and, honestly, essential for our survival. Produced by the adrenal glands, which are these little triangle-shaped glands sitting on top of your kidneys. Cortisol is part of your body's built-in alarm system. Think of it as your own personal superhero, ready to spring into action when you're in danger. Imagine you're walking in the woods and you suddenly see a bear. Instantly, your brain's threat detection center, the amygdala, sends a distress signal to the hypothalamus. The hypothalamus is like the command center for your brain. It gets the message and immediately tells your adrenal glands, code red. We need energy now. In response, your adrenals pump out cortisol and adrenaline. This is the classic fight-or-flight response. Cortisol's main job in this scenario is to flood your body with glucose, a simple sugar, giving you that immediate surge of energy your muscles need to either fight the bear or, more wisely, run for your life. It also curbs functions that would be non-essential in a fight-or-flight situation. Your immune system gets suppressed, your digestive system slows down, and even your reproductive system takes a back seat. Why waste energy on digesting lunch when you might become lunch? This system is brilliant for short-term life-threatening situations. It keeps you sharp, focused, and ready for action. The problem starts when the bear isn't a real bear. In our modern world, the bears are things like looming deadlines, traffic jams, financial worries, or even just scrolling through stressful news on your phone. Unlike a real bear that you hopefully escape from, these modern stressors don't just go away. They're persistent, chronic, and this means your body's alarm system never really shuts off. Your cortisol levels stay elevated day in and day out. This is where things get tricky, and where cortisol's heroic reputation starts to tarnish. Let's break down what happens when cortisol levels are chronically high. First, let's talk about weight gain, specifically around the abdomen. Remember how cortisol releases glucose for energy? If you're not physically fighting or fleeing, that extra glucose doesn't get used. So your body stores it, and its favorite place to store it when cortisol is in charge is as visceral fat, the fat deep within your abdominal cavity surrounding your organs. This isn't just a cosmetic issue. This type of fat is strongly linked to a higher risk of heart disease and type 2 diabetes. High cortisol can also crank up your appetite, making you crave high-fat, sugary, and salty foods. It's your body's way of trying to get quick energy and comfort, but it creates a vicious cycle of stress eating and weight gain. Next up, your immune system. In the short term, cortisol can be anti-inflammatory. It's why doctors use corticosteroids to treat things like allergic reactions or asthma. But when cortisol levels are constantly high, it's a different story. The immune system becomes desensitized to cortisol's effects. This leads to a state where inflammation can run rampant. You might find yourself getting sick more often, catching every cold that goes around, or taking longer to recover from illnesses or injuries. It's like your body's defense soldiers have become so used to the alarm bell ringing that they just start ignoring it. How about your brain? Chronically high cortisol can be a real menace to your mental health. It can interfere with neurotransmitters, the chemical messengers in your brain. This can lead to anxiety, depression, and major mood swings. Have you ever felt brain fog? That feeling of being mentally cloudy, unable to focus or remember things? High cortisol is a major culprit. It can literally shrink the prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for memory and learning. It also disrupts sleep patterns. Cortisol naturally follows a rhythm. It's high in the morning to help you wake up and gradually decreases throughout the day. But when you're chronically stressed, cortisol can stay high at night, leaving you tossing and turning, feeling tired but wired. This lack of quality sleep, in turn, raises cortisol levels even more the next day. Another vicious cycle. Your heart and blood pressure are also at risk. During a stress response, cortisol causes your blood vessels to constrict and your heart to beat faster to pump blood to your major muscles. When this happens constantly, it puts a huge strain on your cardiovascular system. Chronically elevated cortisol is a direct contributor to high blood pressure, which increases your risk for heart attack and stroke over time. Even your bones and skin are affected. High cortisol can interfere with the formation of new bone tissue and decrease your body's absorption of calcium, leading to a higher risk of osteoporosis over the long term. On your skin, cortisol breaks down collagen, the protein that keeps your skin elastic and youthful. This can lead to premature wrinkles, thinning skin, and can also worsen conditions like acne and eczema. And for both men and women, chronic stress and high cortisol can throw a wrench in your reproductive health. It can disrupt normal menstrual cycles, affect fertility, and lower libido. It's your body's way of saying, this is not a safe or stable environment to bring a new life into. Now, this all sounds pretty bleak, doesn't it? It sounds like we're all doomed in this high-stress world. But here is the good news, the really important part. You are not powerless. You can actively manage your stress and, in turn, your cortisol levels. It's not about eliminating stress entirely, that's impossible. It's about building resilience and managing your response to it. So, what can you do? First, let's talk about movement. Regular, moderate exercise is one of the most effective ways to manage stress. Activities like brisk walking, jogging, swimming, or dancing help metabolize excess cortisol and release endorphins, which are your body's natural mood elevators and painkillers. The key is consistency and finding something you enjoy. You don't need to run a marathon. Just 30 minutes a day can make a world of difference. Next, mindfulness and relaxation techniques. These are incredibly powerful tools for telling your brain's alarm system to stand down. Practices like deep breathing, meditation, and yoga have been scientifically proven to lower cortisol levels. When you focus on your breath, you activate the parasympathetic nervous system, also known as the rest and digest system. This is the direct opposite of fight or flight. Even just 5 minutes of deep belly breathing can signal to your body that you are safe. Your diet plays a huge role too. As we mentioned, high cortisol can make you crave junk food, but feeding those cravings only makes things worse. Instead, focus on a balanced diet rich in whole foods. Think fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, and healthy fats. Foods rich in vitamin C, omega-3 fatty acids, and magnesium can help support your adrenal glands and regulate cortisol. And try to balance your blood sugar by avoiding sugary snacks and refined carbs, which cause energy spikes and crashes that further stress your system. Sleep is non-negotiable. It's during sleep that your body does most of its repair work. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep per night. To improve your sleep, create a relaxing bedtime routine. Dim the lights, turn off screens at least an hour before bed. The blue light messes with your sleep, hormones, and maybe read a book or take a warm bath. A consistent sleep schedule, even on weekends, helps regulate your body's natural cortisol rhythm. Building strong social connections is another key factor. Spending time with loved ones, talking about your feelings, and even just getting a hug can release oxytocin, a hormone that counteracts cortisol and promotes feelings of bonding and well-being. Don't underestimate the power of a good laugh with a friend. Laughter is fantastic medicine for stress. Finally, make time for hobbies and activities that bring you joy, whether it's painting, gardening, playing music, or spending time in nature. Engaging in activities you love helps to shift your focus away from stressors and into a state of flow and relaxation. It's important to remember that cortisol isn't the enemy. It's a vital hormone that keeps us safe and functional. The real issue is the chronic, unrelenting stress of modern life that keeps this system switched on all the time. By understanding how it works, we can take intentional steps to manage our stress, bring our bodies back into balance, and protect our long-term health. You have the power to tame the stress hormone and reclaim your well-being. It's about small, consistent choices that add up to a big impact over time. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video gave you some valuable insights into the power of cortisol and, more importantly, the power you have to manage it. If you found this helpful, please give this video a thumbs up. It really helps the channel out. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next video. We'd love to hear from you in the comments below. What are your favorite ways to de-stress? Stay healthy, stay mindful, and we'll see you in the next one.